Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Sweet Baby Inc. on the run. They're on the run. Yeah, Sweet Baby Inc. apparently redesigned their entire website to take their client list off of it. Probably due to the backlash. People are starting to put two and two together that, most games that have the involvement of Sweet Baby Inc., they turn out to be massive DEI-infused flops. They usually cost studios hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's almost become a running joke.
Well, I think they're doing it because they're going to be like, well, we don't want people to harass those companies because they're like boycotting if they know we worked on it. So they're trying to hide that so they can still get more work. You know what I mean? So those companies don't get harassed.
Yeah.
It's no different than people calling people up at work, that, did you know you hired a bigot because they didn't like Star Wars,
Yeah, actually, I was talking to a friend a couple of years ago, and they said that they got apparently the random mentally ill person did not realize that they owned the business, and apparently they called and left a nasty voicemail about how they should get fired from the company, not realizing this person actually owned the company. It was like, wait, I'm gonna fire myself? What the hell is wrong with you? That's what I'd be like, hey, when should I fire myself? Can I get unemployment? What?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, seriously. No, but this is in reaction probably to Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, which
that's what I think it is.
This is a whole thing, and look, games take years to work their way through the development pipeline, so I'm sure there are still several games in the pipeline, or the colon, however you want to describe it, that have yet to be excreted from the system.
Yeah, and they don't want you to harass them.
No.
Because then they're going to be like, look, see, it's fine.
Yeah, now that being said, I think there have been so many massive flops that have been tied to Sweet Baby Inc. that no studio head in their right mind would go anywhere near them. And at the end of the day, it's not even about your political opinions. It's about, did the game make money, yes or no? Mm-hmm. And overwhelmingly, most of the games that they've been tied to have not made money. They've lost massive amounts of money. That's what's going to get them fired. So let's talk about this latest development. We haven't really covered it too much lately. It sounds like a broken record after a while. Like, oh my God, Sweet Baby Inc. was working on a game that's super woke. I'm of course they are.
It's a day that ends in Y.
That's
Water's wet.
That's literally their job. Their job is to make the game as 2017 as possible. So before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to clownfishminus.com. Join the Reef. You get 50% off your first month. We have exclusive content out there. We got products out there. We don't have any anti-Sweet Baby Inc. shirts, but, some people probably do. It's probably a whole thing. This is coming from Tech for Gamers, and I think they got it from Smash JT, who is in the middle of a legal battle, I think, with Alyssa Mercante from Kotaku, if I remember correctly. Like, she's threatening to sue him for saying mean things about her in videos or something.
Well, I think from my understanding, I could be wrong, but what she was threatening to sue him for was him saying that she sucked dick or something. But they have screenshots of her posting that she got to get video games, or that she does or did. So I don't know.
I think she was joking about it, but she actually was, and she said, and this isn't defamatory, she said she was a sex worker before she was a video game journalist.
But I'm just saying, I think it was tied to that, so good luck on that lawsuit. But,
maybe she didn't, maybe we got the genitals wrong. I don't know. That's none of my business. It's none of my business.
I don't know. If that's what that one's about, that's, I'm not sure if that's even it, but...
So we'll go out to the website here first, and then we'll look at the article. Yeah, they redid the whole website. They used to have a whole section of like, here are all the games we worked on. Like, you can see some of them, but they had a whole client list, and they pulled the client list off of the revision, probably because there were a bunch of games that were in development currently. And like you said, these people are going to get phone calls. Like, all the games that are on the website currently, everybody knew they were involved with them. Now, for those of you who don't fully understand, I don't know why you're watching this video if you don't fully understand what Sweet Baby Inc. is, but they are diversity, equity, and inclusion consultants. Some people think they're extortionists because they basically go up to a studio, most often a AAA studio because they have the most money, right? And they're like, hey, so I heard you need some diversity, equity, and inclusion in your video game. Well, guess what we sell? Services that we go through, like sensitivity readers, and we tell you where you can put more where you can stick more diversity, equity, and inclusion into existing franchises. Give us money, please. Give us money, please, or we might say bad things about you
The
on
thing
Twitter.
about like that, like sensitivity readers, is the fact that even if something's fine, their job is to find something, to find fault with it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
even if it's fine, they're not going to tell you it's fine because they need to find fault with it.
It's a scam. I mean, it's a scam. It's just like the white fragility lady or whatever, that she was like, well, here's how we can tell you about, all your racial insensitivity and blah, blah. It's somebody's job to get paid to tell you everything that's wrong with your game. And developers are slowly catching on. I think what happened was we had a lot of suits that weren't really paying attention. We're like, well, we've heard all about this ESG, DEI, diversity, inclusion stuff, and we don't want to look like bigots. And in my opinion, it's a huge fucking scam. It's basically, it's just like sensitivity readers, regardless of whether it started with the best of intentions or whatever, like, you have no job. You have no job. Have you ever seen, what was it? Was it Mousetrap? Was it the one with Nathan Lane where they have Well, if you get rid of the mouse, you're out of a job as an exterminator. You get rid of all the bugs, you're out of a job. So you got to always have something to exterminate, right? You always have to have racism and misogyny to exterminate, or nobody's going to call you to exterminate those things. And if they're not readily apparent, then you have to go through a project with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that you keep your job, right?
Right.
And that's what these people do. And if you don't work with them, there have been instances where they kind of call out studios that, apparently.
Have they? I don't know.
Yeah, apparently you don't want to, you don't want to work with diverse people, or you've got a problem. So, but yeah, I'm sure people are getting phone calls about it. Tech for Gamers has the article. Sweet Baby Inc. has reworked its site to remove games it has worked on. Previously, there's a whole list of collaborators, which has been removed. They still do have some projects, but those are pretty well known. I don't think they're broadcasting that they worked on Suicide Squad because it lost so damn much. Oh, no, they are. Oh, I wouldn't have put that on my resume. I definitely.
Because there's still games on the site.
Yeah, there are games, but they did have a list. I remember they had a whole, here's our client list.
I don't remember. I wasn't really involved in a lot of this, so I don't remember.
Yeah, we haven't been following it super close. But
then you usually cover this stuff, and I'm not usually there, so.
So this could be a consequence of the backlash the company has been receiving after messing up games. Again, somebody had to hire them. So I just think that this throws kerosene on the fire. Like, okay, well, our game's already headed in the wrong direction. Now tell us how it's racist again. They said, apparently they removed some of the clients from its site to hide the games it's involved in. This would probably be current titles, because people are like, wait, they're working with, I think they had like Square Enix or something on there. I'm trying to remember, but I think they were like, oh yeah, they're working with this company. Let's call them and tell them not to work with them. The company has faced severe backlash for pushing a narrative and making high budget games fail badly. Again, somebody had to hire them, but it definitely did not help. Many big names like Xbox Game Studios, PlayStation, Ubisoft, Remedy, and more involved with them. Today they reworked their site, leading to a notable change. The company has removed the tab where you could see the list of its collaborators it has worked with in the past to hide the games they've worked on. They have some, but not all. There's actually a ton of...
Oh, they had a screenshot, though.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is who they work with. So people are like, wait, we haven't seen any games from this studio or that studio.
So if you're interested, here's a list of what was up, according to this website, was up before. Tech for Gamers said Xbox Game Studios, Electronic Arts, Valve, True Love, Santa Monica Studio, 2K, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers, how do you say that?
Finji, Polytron,
Rocksteady, Co-op, I don't know what that is. It's a logo. Compulsion Games, whatever that is, et cetera, Avalanche, Deck 9. There's a bunch. It's Remedy, Raw Fury, Fellow Traveler, etc. Wizards of the Coast. So there's a list that they took down. They deleted that.
Wizards of the Coast totally tracks, doesn't it? Like, oh my God, the orcs, they're stand-ins for black people. If you just made them Mexican or Latinx, it'd be fine. Gamers have been criticizing the company ever since it surfaced. It's been involved in some of the most notable projects over the last few years that have failed. God of War Ragnarok, Suicide Squad lost $200 million for Warner Brothers. Forspoken, huge failure. Concord, not even 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Not even 2 weeks. Now, there's rumor that they're going to rework it substantially and try to bring it back.
They're going to have to just gut it and start over.
Disinfect it from the stink of Sweet Baby Inc. The company reworking its site to unlink itself from projects it worked on indicates people don't want forced inclusivity in the games. They're saying, I think it's like you said, they don't want to put these companies in the crosshairs, or some of them might have fired them. They might have actually been.
That could be, or like I think it's because they're getting called to. There's calls to boycott the games, based on the fact that they were attached to them. So they're trying to hide, or they might have been asked to hide their names on the account, to try to avoid backlash, or that people don't know that a game's coming out and they're attached to it. But
yes.
to say to you, buy it.
Right. So this is Smash JT who's getting into it with Alyssa Mercante. Yeah, he said, some of the millions of Chrome tabs open typically. That's me too. I stumbled upon this discovery, revisited an old tab. The page dedicated to their past projects through a 404 error, which led me to refreshing it again and again a few times. No luck. Curious, I decided to navigate to their homepage only to find it unrecognizable from what it used to be. So they were uploading a new site, basically. It was stripped down to the bare bones, devoid of the detailed information that used to be a hallmark of their site. Yeah, and they basically they took the client list off, and there's whoopsie-doopsie, nothing there. Kim Belair, Sweet Baby Inc.'s co-founder, often claims in interviews that any backlash against her company is simply rooted in hate campaigns.
But here's the thing, if that were true, okay, maybe the backlash against you by people online, but most people don't know Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in these games. They just know the games sucked and didn't buy them.
They wonder why.
Or they failed, you know?
Why do all these games suck all of a sudden? And then they started to find a common thread that this consulting firm was involved in a lot of these high-profile
Couldn't I argue that they go on a sort of campaign when they go to these with gaming companies and say they're going to find the microaggressions and fix them? Isn't that kind of campaigning against the game to begin with and people that aren't like them? I mean, you could argue that. It's just stupid. The games failed. Most people don't even know who Sweet Baby Inc. is. Nobody really cares. They just know the game sucked.
Sweet Baby Inc. is, I believe, a symptom of a bigger issue. And I think whoever the studio heads are, I think they need to fall on their sword. It's like, you're the ones who hired them. You're the ones who thought we needed sensitivity consultants or whatever. And you got this harebrained scheme that, oh yeah, we got to have a sensitivity consultant because I'm a straight white guy who's in charge of the gaming studio. I don't want to look like a bigot. And now you just look like a fool because you've spent $200-300 million of the company's money and you burnt it. And there are other games that are coming out from other countries or smaller teams cost a fraction of what you spent, and they're selling like crazy. And so you don't need this. But yeah, this kind of blew through the California video game development scene, and it's a pretty good racket, right? But I think this is going to be another case of woke being effectively dead, DEI being dead. And I don't think they're getting phone calls. I mean, we've seen so many companies pivot away from DEI because it was unprofitable. I
honestly think that a lot of games are coming out that might not be that way, people are going to avoid because of companies like Sweet Baby Inc.
Yeah.
And sadly, games that are going to be good or games that are done properly or diversity inclusion done correctly are going to be overlooked and immediately discarded by people, and they're not even going to buy it because they're concerned about the previous, track record of the games those companies had before, or the companies, that Sweet Baby Inc. worked with.
Yeah, and how many of these games, I wonder if they decided, since they're still in development, did they decide to pivot? Like, okay, well, we had Sweet Baby Inc. come in a year ago, 2 years ago, or whatever, and tell us what they thought, or they tried to, go over our scripts to make it less racist or misogynistic or whatever. Maybe we should just toss that out because obviously they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I don't know. I just think it's going to have the opposite effect.
Yes, it will.
Of what they intended. And then the sad part is games that were actually good, that were actually diverse and inclusive, are just going to get ignored because of the behavior of like a small group.
Yeah, because at the end of it, it's not about helping. It's usually not about helping the groups you're claiming to help. It's usually about helping yourself. And helping yourself to more control and
more money.
To more money. And this is, So anyway, we're going to wrap this one up, guys. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Join the reef. Go to clownfish-.com. That's clownfish-.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.